Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? Let me turn on chat here so I can see what's going on. Good to see you all. Thanks for joining in this lovely December weather. Awesome. I'm going to start in about a couple minutes. Betsy, I haven't seen you for a while. How you doing? And Kathi too.
Thank
And
you.
Patricia, I'm seeing some people I know. That's amazing. Good to see your smiling faces. It's been a while, Betsy. How you been? Good. Good. I'm going to give it a minute. I had a few people. This is what's so crazy about this is I had a few people show up like 2.5 hours early. And I don't know how that happens, but I think it's time zone or maybe they're in Italy. I'm not quite sure, but it happens every single time. I get these notifications that people are on Zoom and I'm like, what? What's going on? And then I realize that I'm not late. They're really early, which makes me feel better anyhow. Well, you're in the right place if you want to declutter your life. That's what this whole little lesson is about: is how to declutter, stress less, enjoy the holidays, get more stuff done in less time, and basically just live life with less stress. That's really what this is all about. And I know that when you have less clutter, you have less stress for sure. I know that to be true for me. Every time I feel a little bit cluttered, I start getting a little bit more stressed, for sure, in my life, because every single thing that we own requires energy from us. That's the main thing that happens in my world is, I start getting my possessions are possessing me and I feel like I have to do stuff. Right now I have my dining room table full of gifts to wrap and it's kind of stressing me out. I just want it to be done, wrapped and shipped and gone. That's where I'm at. All right, let me turn off this heat. I don't know about you guys, but it's been a little bit cold. I'm here in sunny Southern California and I think I'm a wimp, but I've been cold all day. So can everybody see the screen? Do you see the declutter with less stress? Yes. Okay, good. Excellent. Well, then we're going to get going. So the idea is to go from chaos to triumph, to go from clutter to clarity, to overcome your overwhelm and streamline your success, get more done in less time. That's what we all want to do, I'm sure, because time is finite. But here's the thing: the average household contains over 300,000 items. 300,000. Now that's average. Now I think I might be above average. I might have more than that. And some of you might have a bit more than that, but that's the average. So, we all have too much stuff. And the Social Psychology Bulletin suggests that a cluttered home environment contributes to stress, contributes to anxiety, makes you feel depressed. And then conversely, when you declutter and you organize your living spaces, you have improved mental well-being. You have a greater sense of control. It makes sense, right? Because you don't want your possessions to possess you. You want everything to have a home with a yard around it. You want to know where everything is, but you don't want to have so much that you shoot yourself in the foot and go into overwhelm. So, a cluttered home environment will make you feel stressful. It will make you feel like you're full of anxiety. It can even make you depressed, and we don't want that. So today you're going to learn how to stop wasting time, stop wasting money, stop running late, and stop going nuts and organize like a pro does. So the result will be that you'll have more time, less money wasted, and less of a burden on yourself and others. So we're going to help you save time, find things you need when you need them, stop buying duplicates, which is where money waste comes into it. And most importantly, don't leave clutter for other people to deal with when we're gone, right? I love squirrels. I watch squirrels all the time. I'm always trying to fool them and foil them from jumping into the feeders. But did you know that 40% of the nuts that they get, they lose? They lose over 42% of the nuts that they bury. And I don't, you've probably seen this. You've seen the squirrels like frantically going underneath the tree trying to find something, and then they come up empty handed or empty pawed or whatever you would call that. That's the 42% that they've lost. Now, here's the thing. I love squirrels, and I always am reminded of entrepreneurs and reminded of them myself as well. So, squirrels will jump from branch to branch. They'll gather nuts. They'll bury nuts. It's the same thing with us. Like I'm the, reformed squirrel chaser. It's like, oh, next shiny object, nice this, nice that. And then we lose, sadly, I think we lose more than 40%. I think we lose 80% of what we're doing. And 20% is the only thing that really counts for us, right? So if you think of it, this squirrel is tenacious. She's resourceful. Oh my gosh, I try to foil her all the time. I try to keep her from jumping. She jumps. She's tenacious. She succeeds. She gets the stuff. She buries it. She loses it. This is what we do as entrepreneurs. Absolutely. In fact, she loses 20%, she loses 40% productivity. I think the old Pareto principle is alive and well. Only 20% of what we do makes any impact. We lose 80% of the things that we're doing, and they don't mean anything, right? Only 20% of what we do actually brings enjoyment into our life. 20% of the stuff we buy will actually make a difference in our life. So as you're getting ready to buy something, and this is a season, right, to shop, think about if it's going to bring you more than what it's going to take, right? And when you stop buying things that you never use, you also will eliminate your overwhelm. Think about it. How would it feel if you could stop jumping from branch to branch and trying to find things you own but you can't find? Do you think you'd be able to spend more quality time with your family? Maybe enjoy more free time? I know I would, for sure. So the old Pareto principle, yeah, it's highly likely that 80% of what we own will not bring us happiness. And only 20% of what we own, we use. It's the same thing, right? So same thing about clothes in the closet. We only wear 20% of our clothes. The other 80% we've spent money on, but we don't really wear hardly at all. And an obvious place to start when you're starting about decluttering is to think about all the extra stuff that you don't use, that you have in your environment, but you don't use. And the easy way to start is in your closet. You can find that out very quickly, what clothes you're not using and what clothes you are using. So you want to be able to find things when you need them. That's the most important thing. If you'd like to be able to laser focus on your most important task, guess what? You can't get things done if you can't find things. The average entrepreneur wastes 4 hours a week just trying to find documents that they've created, but they don't know where it is. Same thing with us in our home. We spend so much time trying to find things that we own. I know this to be true because I work with clients one-on-one all the time, every week. And one client, I remember a couple weeks ago, we found 5 boxes of staples, but we couldn't find the stapler. Yeah, this happens all the time. And it happens to us when we don't have things organized and we have too much. She had bought all these staples over and over and over, but then couldn't find the stapler. Yeah. So it pays to create streamlined systems that will support you. That's the most important thing. Every single system needs to support you. And the reason that I've been doing this for 20 years is because we're all different. And we all have different ways to remember where things are. We all have different needs and necessities. What do we need? What do we not need? And nothing is cookie cutter, right? But you have to eliminate the piles of clutter that are clutter for you and get rid of those half-baked nutty systems so that you can actually move forward and get more done. So raise your hand if you'd like to stop wasting time right now. Yeah, anybody want to stop wasting time? Yeah, we all do, right? I'm going to show you a simple way to do it right now. I don't know what you know about me, but a long, long time ago, I was a U.S. Coast Guard licensed captain, and I delivered yachts, and I lived out of a duffel bag. And the thing about living on a ship is you have to know what you want when you have to find what you need when you need it quickly. And that's where it all started. I remember I was in the middle of a Gulf Stream, and I was thinking about everything that was back on shore in my apartment, and none of it really meant anything to me. And so I'd get back to shore and I'd purge, because I had the clarity of thought to know what I didn't need and what I needed. I mean, maybe there was one thing that I needed, but all the rest of stuff, I'm like, I have what I need. I'm out to sea, I got it all. And when I get to shore, I don't need it anyhow. So I get rid of just about everything. I had the clarity because I was kind of removed from my stuff at that point. So I'd purge. Then I became a travel writer, and I was living out of on the road 42 weeks a year, living out of a suitcase. Same thing. I had the clarity to know that what I needed, I had with me, and that's all I needed. So I got back and I purged. Now, I had no idea what an organizer was at that point in time. In fact, no one did. That was 20 years ago. That was way before Marie Kondo or Clean Sweep or Hoarders. And fast forward a few years later, I was at a prayer group, and I was talking to this woman who had a year off, and because she had cancer, and she was a homeopathic doctor. And I went to her house, and I'm like, girlfriend, you're never going to heal if you have all this stuff. She was surrounded by all this stuff. I'm like, there's no way that you're going to have time. You know, her house was a mess and it was stressing her out. Well, you know, if you're not feeling well, if you're stressed, it doesn't help at all. You need to be stress-free when you're on the healing path. So I instinctively said, we've got to get rid of some of this stuff. And I started helping her purge and helping her organize. And she goes, well, you're really good at this. So I started a business as a pro organizer and an image consultant 20 years ago here in San Diego. Now, in spite of all the busyness at the beginning of my career, because I was busy, I was jumping from ranch to ranch, doing all this stuff, right? Somehow the universe smiled at me, and Good Morning America contacted me and said, we want to feature you as a successful startup business. And then I published my book, and then it goes on and on and on. So national magazines picked me up. I have tips in all the magazines, and I became one of the world's first board certified professional organizers. And I'm not saying that to brag, but I know that if you're like me, I want to know that I'm taking the advice from someone who's been there, done that, right? So here's the thing. The only thing that we can't make more of is time. Time is our most precious commodity. And once it's gone forever, right? It's just gone. So 90% of the respondents in this survey from the Training Institute said that they believe that a clean and organized home positively impacts their well-being, right? Losing kids with our time or our loved ones is tragic. Back in the days of video cameras, oh my gosh, one of my clients said the best thing that ever happened to her when she got her home organized was she could find her video camera and capture the with batteries that worked in it. Most important thing, she could snap and catch memories right there, right? So being able to find things quickly when you need them increases your well-being. And she's not alone, because 90% of the people in the survey said the same thing. Being organized impacts your well-being. So who here has never lost anything? Never lost your keys, maybe never lost your wallet, maybe lost your purse, maybe never around the house looking for your favorite shoes or your glasses. Yeah, I know we've all lost things, right? And you're not really losing things, you're losing your mind. And the vast majority of us are losing things all the time, and it's costing us. Money's an energy commodity, right? Being organized is also going to save you money. So not only are you going to save time, you're going to save money, because you're going to stop buying things that you already own. Like my client with 5 boxes of staples, that's just a small thing that she was wasting money on, but you will save a lot of money. Speaking of money, I find money with every single client that I help organize. There's only been a handful of clients over the past years that I've not found any money. In fact, my biggest win of all is I found about $67,000 for a client. And when you find money and when your life's simplified, you'll find money. Now, this client right here, look, she found, I think it was a $1 or a $20. I can't see. A 20. It was a 20 she found. And then she also found this book, The Messy Room book, which we all laughed about and thought that was like hilarious. So you're not only going to find money when you get organized, you're going to save money and you're going to save time. So here's one of my clients. We found $8,768 in stock certificates, $1,130 in cash, $1,600 in gift cards. We all have gift cards, and you know, gift cards is a huge booming business, right? Because we know, the gift card industry knows that 80% never get cashed in. It's a huge boon to have gift cards or to buy gift cards. So when you're organized, you're not going to happen that. One of my clients got a $40,000 refund from the IRS. Another lady found $84,000 in expired checks This is what happens when you get organized. So here's the thing though, getting organized is a journey. It's not a destination, right? You're never completely organized. I'm never completely organized. There's always something to do to make it better and to, let me turn off that spam calls. Who's getting a lot of spam calls this season? Oh my gosh, they keep waking me up at 6:30 in the morning. Anyhow, I'm going to turn off my phone. So it takes time to develop a new habit and a new system. And so go lightly is what I want to say about this. Getting organized is a journey, not a destination. So go lightly. Don't beat yourself up. Every system creates a better system, creates a better system, creates a better system, right? So I'm sure that all of you have something in place that works. Maybe you have the key holder by your front door where you never lose your keys again. Maybe you always know where you put your glasses. Maybe you have glasses in 8 different places, so you don't have to worry about that when you want to read something, right? Well, you all have systems that are working for you. The goal is to have systems in every part of your life that are working for you, right? That's the goal. So remember that 80% of your results are going to come from only 20% of your action. And working harder is not the action, working harder is not where it's at. It's about strategy and planning, and we're going to jump into how to do that. So there's 8 steps to getting organized, right? 8 different steps, so that when your external environment's cluttered, you won't be able to follow these 8 steps. So you start where you can. And creating space is a requirement for change. So remember, as you're doing this, you do need to create space. Step 1, you're going to gather. So what happens when you gather is you want to put together, say you're going to work on socks. Let's just do socks. You're going to gather all the socks into one area, and you're going to gather that particular category together. So you're going to gather by category, right? Then after you do that, then you're going to be able to group. So you're going to group like with like. Take, for instance, with your socks. Now, this is different too. Everybody's different, right? I would put my light socks with my dark socks as separate from my dark socks, because I know they're either like sporty or dressy. My husband likes to separate his long socks from his short socks, which actually for him means not color, but what he's using them for. So you're going to group together based on what makes sense to you. So after you gather, then you'll group. Is this making sense? Aha, I just gathered sweaters. All right, Kathi, this is great. So now you have your sweaters together. Now, how are you going to group them? Are you going to group them by lightweight, heavyweight, short sleeve, long sleeve, by color? What makes sense to you on how you're going to group them, right? And again, we're all different. After you group them together, you're going to sort. And this is where you're going to make that decision of how are you going to sort them? Are they going to be heavy sweaters, light sweaters? Are they going to be cardigans versus crew necks? How are you going to sort them so that it makes sense to you? Because after you sort them, then you can really make decisions on what you're going to keep, right? So then you're going to purge. And you're going to start by removing the unnecessary things. So if you come back to sweaters, we'll use Kathy's example. What sweaters have you not worn? There's going to be only 20% that you've really worn and 80% you haven't. So you're going to get real with yourself, and you're going to start the purging process. And what's cool about that is, say you've gone into the sorting mode, right? We'll backtrack. You've sorted. You've seen that you have, like, let's say 4 giant sweaters that are really, really heavy that if you live in sunny Southern, you probably only wear one anyhow. That'll allow you to actually say, I only need 1 really heavy duty sweater. Ooh, 2 garbage bags of sweaters. Good job. So you made that decision of what had you not worn? What do you hate? What do you love? What do you wear? Right? So good job, Kath. So you're going to purge, and you're going to get rid of the things you don't need or use or love, right? So you want to think, you're going to divide them into keep, donate, or throw away. And the way that you're going to do this is, do you need it? Do you love it? Do you use it? Right? So if you don't need it, you don't need it. I can ditch it. If you love it, you're going to keep it. If you use it, you're going to keep it. So you're going to divide the keep, donate, or throw away. Now, the thing about, I just want to say this as an aside, Goodwill and Salvation Army and all the charities now are taking any kind of clothing, whether it's wholly tattered, gross, or whatever, because they're reselling it as textiles. So you can pretty much donate everything, even like a sock with a hole in it, because they're going to actually turn it into money. So keep that in mind when you're looking to donate. I hate putting anything in a landfill, so I just had to say that. Now, after you've purged and sorted, right, and grouped, then only then are you going to contain. So you can't create a space for anything to live until you know how much it is. And this is where I see a lot of my clients falling short, is they'll go out, especially when we're container happy. So we'll go ahead and we'll buy all these containers, and then we bring them home, and then we realize, oh, that amount of stuff is not going to fit in that container. Or I'm thinking back to sweaters. So I'll go back to Kath, that, my sweater cabinet, I have one cabinet that will fit all my sweaters. And what happens with this, with the containing principle, is I know when I have too many, because I can't fit any more in there, then it's time to purge. So the beauty about having a container and a confined amount of space for each type of object is that it keeps you honest, right? So I have one cabinet that has 2 shelves, and that's where I think it's 3 shelves. That's where my sweaters and wraps and that type of thing live in. If I can't fit anything in, I know I need to do a quick purge. And generally it's pretty easy, because what I wear is on the top, and what I don't wear is on the bottom of the pile on each shelf, right? So you want to have a container, and the container is an agreement with yourself about how much is enough, which also leads to how much is too much, right? So I go into my sweater closet, and I'm right there going, oh, okay, I can't fit anything else in. I know that it's time to purge. But that's my agreement with myself, because I'm always cold. I have 3 shelves, and I have one whole cabinet that's just sweaters and overwraps, right? So you make an agreement with yourself, and that's how you contain. Then you go into labeling. Okay, so now you know where things are going to be, and you can go ahead and label to let yourself remember where things are going to live, and also to help others that live in your household put things back to where they belong, right? So then you can get into label. Then after that, you're going to create a home. So take, for instance, you've decided that you're going to have all of your sewing needs. Let's say you knit. Okay. So you've sorted out all the yarn that you're not going to use. You've sorted out the tools that you don't use anymore. You've purged, you've put them in some kind of a area. So you know how big the container, you've contained it. Now you're going to find out, where is it going to live? Right. So I think about the knitting basket that one of my clients has. She has this beautiful basket, and that's the home for her projects that are in process. And she has this beautiful basket that she'll carry from place to place as she knits. So that's the home that she's created for her yarn and for her projects that are in process. So this is making sense. Now you have a home, right? Now, the most important thing, which is where most people fall apart when they've gone through the whole process, but they skip step 8. Step 8 is you have to have a yard around each grouping. You have to have a yard around the home, okay? Take, for instance, let's go back to my sweater closet. If I don't have room to put one more in, I don't have a yard, okay? I don't have any room to grow, because this is what happens. Without a yard, your system's going to fail, because you're going to add one more item, and I know you will, then your system's broken because it doesn't fit. You don't have any room to put that other thing in there, right? So then your system that you spent such a long, hard time creating, gathering, purging, containing, labeling, putting a home, then you go to put something else in there, your system's broken, and then it goes into another area, and then your system's failed. So you want to make sure that you have a yard around everything. Every home that you've created needs a yard around it. Is this making sense? Put in chat if you don't understand that concept, because this is a super important concept for you guys. According to a survey conducted by Sparefoot, which is a self-storage marketplace, the one that get me out of business. Actually, I have a friend. Okay, good. It makes sense. 55% of Americans feel that their home's cluttered, and 47% said they have trouble finding things due to clutter. Okay, good, Linda. Thanks for letting me know. So a yard means that you've created a home, right? Let's just go for your let's say the sock drawer. Okay, you've decided that all your socks are going to fit in one drawer, right? And then you put them in the drawer and everything fits nicely, but there's not any room at all to grow. You couldn't add another pair of socks. If you added another pair of socks, you wouldn't be able to shut the drawer. So a yard means that you have extra space in that drawer for your socks to add another one. And especially at Christmas, we're going to get more socks. That's just what people like to give. For some reason, they like to give socks. So say Christmas, you've sorted, you've done your sock drawer, and then someone gives you this extra pair of great socks and you go to put it in and it won't fit. You don't have a yard, right? There's no yard around that home for your socks. So there's no room to expand. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense, Linda. You need to have extra space around every home that you've developed for every grouping of objects in your life. Everything that you've organized needs to have a yard around it. So I know you know what home means. Home is like where the thing's going to live full time, so you can find it. The yard is extra space inside that home for that particular type of items. You've got to have the yard, otherwise your process breaks. And that's why a lot of people they're not able to complete the organizing process because they haven't done the home, and like someone adds something to their collection and the system's busted and broken. So the home, hopefully that makes sense. So clutter doesn't just affect your headspace. You really can't find a difference if you can't find anything. And the new normal is that the average person now wastes 3 hours a week looking for things they know they own, but they can't find. And in business, we're wasting 4 hours a week trying to find things that we own, documents that we created, emails that we sent, whatever we've done in business. That adds up to almost a month a year. And 80% of the stuff in your environment is pretty much clutter. I can guarantee the 80-20 rule is it. And what you don't realize is that if you are cluttered and out of control, the new normal is literally taking money out of your pocket. And those 3 hours every week add up. They add up. They add up. The 4 hours a week make a month a year, which creates a snowball effect on your psyche, a snowball effect on being able to get anything done or make any progress. And wouldn't you like to have a month a year back? Like you could take a vacation. You could spend a month a year with friends and family, having fun, right? Not getting lost in the minutia of your stuff. Your possessions would no longer possess you, right? Because when your external environment's cluttered, your head becomes cluttered. And clearing space always clears your headspace as well. And when you think clearly, you get more done in less time. And let's face it, time once it's gone, it's gone. So you have to create space. That's where the purging comes into it, right? You've gathered, you've grouped. If you don't do the purge and you don't have room left over at the end of the process, then you haven't done your job, right? And clutter's an energy vampire. Clutter will make you feel guilty. It will keep you up at night. The majority of my clients, when they start working with me, they're not sleeping regularly. They're not sleeping soundly. They're actually laying in bed doing checklists of stuff. Instead of counting sheep, they're doing checklists of stuff that has not been done, that, is weighing on their mind. And as women in particular, we obviously always have stuff that we know what's not been done, and it weighs on our psyche. So picture this. You're in a beautiful clutter-free space. Your desk is cleared off. You're open for business. You walk into your kitchen, you know where everything is. And in a month from now, if you're working in an environment like that, that's clutter-free, what do you think your life would be like? You think you'd have more time? Would you feel more in charge of your business? What would you do differently? And what would your spouse say, right? Or what are your kids going to think when all of a sudden you have free times on the weekends? The one thing I know that's true is that clutter, I like to call it muck, is a powerful saboteur of creative expression. And when you're surrounded by too much stuff, it's hard to bring your unique gifts to the world. And each and every one of you has a unique gift that you can bring forth into the world. But it's really hard to do that when you're surrounded by too much stuff. I had a client that did just that. She had literally moved out of her home office and was working in the dining room table because she literally shut the door to her business because she couldn't get stuff done. And we barreled through, we dug out her office, we got her back in there working, and a month later, actually 6 weeks later, she published her book, right? And you can do this too. You can do this too. So 80% of what is in your life does not bring you joy. I can guarantee you. 20% is going to bring you joy and be something that's useful to you, right? And here's another thing. If you don't want to clean as much, this is a survey by the American Cleaning Institute. 90% of respondents feel that a clean and organized home positively impacts your being. And let's see, let me see if I can remember this stat. If you're organized, you save 32% of your time cleaning. Yeah, so you want to clean less, have less stuff, because you can clean better. I had a client who couldn't call in a house clean. I've had several actually, who couldn't call in house cleaners because their house was too disorganized for a cleaner to even come in to clean. So if you want to spend less time cleaning, get rid of the client. Anyhow, one of my clients, I'm just going to do a couple stories and then that's it for us, because I don't want to, I promised 30-minute quick one. One of my clients, here's what happens when you can't find your stuff. She had sold her car online and she was due to meet this guy at the DMV to give him the title. She could not find the title. The guy was waiting for her. She was running around frantic. She couldn't find the title anywhere. She had to call her brother, who lived right by the DMV, thank God, to go talk to this guy to kind of keep him at the DMV while she was trying to find the title. So she finally found the title 30 minutes later. She ran to the DMV. She was actually able to sell the car. But what happened was this: her brother berated her for months afterwards for having to spend his time, how disorganized she was, how she couldn't get her act together. So not only did she get stressed out and lost and freaked out and almost lost a sale, then she had to live with it for months from her brother. And I know you maybe have been there where, relatives won't let go of anything that you've done, right? So this is what happens when you're disorganized. So clutter costs more than money. She almost lost the sale. Her brother's corner. Oh, on top of that, I forgot she was late for work. So then after all that, she was on her lunch break. She had to go back to work and then she was late for work and then she got in trouble too. So here's the thing. Look at your kitchen counter. Do paper piles promote your happiness? I don't think so. Piles are the number one argument that I see between my clients is, why are there piles in the kitchen counter? I don't know. How do they get there? Who's going to take care of them? Blah, 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 right? Piles are a big saboteur. And clearing your clutter clears your headspace. So here's the thing, you guys. I have something that will help you. And I've got, geez, this is all spam, 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 spam. I so apologize. And I thought I turned on my phone. Here's the thing. You don't want your possessions to possess you. If you don't take the time to clear your clutter, you don't get stuff done. And then you're weighed down by the feeling of things left undone. So remember that 80% of what you do is only, it takes up your time and energy, and only 20% happens. You also don't want to become a burden for your family, right? Inherited items, oh my gosh. I can't tell you, I work with grandparents, kids, parents, grandkids, the whole shebang. There's so much guilt around possessions that are passed down. The last thing you want to do is burden your family with things that you thought were important that they have no idea why they have. So clear out your stuff before it's time. If you have a storage unit, please get rid of it, right? The bottom line is it does pay to get your life organized. And now, oh yeah, sister gives me things. Parents give kids, kids give parents. You know, it's always the girl that ends up with the stuff. I don't know why in a family. The guy is always like, the son or the grandson is like, I don't want it. And then the girl gets it. And we feel responsible that we have to keep it. So you tell your sister, hey, I love that, but why don't you just keep it? That's something for you, Kat. So here's the thing. It's time to take action. I have this process now that's called the Get It Done Power Hours. And I really love this because people say, hey, Kath, I want to do stuff, but I really need accountability. I need someone to sit there and make sure that I get stuff done. So I open up this power hour, Get It Done Power Office Hours. And for 2 hours a month, I'm actually with my tribe and we're getting stuff done. And it works great. And it's time to up level the productivity, right? So if you want to up level your productivity, if you want to get stuff done, if you want to make more money, then join me on the Get It Done office hours. What happens with this is it is ongoing training. So I have virtual training that's a DIY training. You choose your path. You choose, do I want to actually get it done in my office? Do I want to take control of my business, or do I want to take control of my life and my home? So you choose your track and then you say, I'm going to get it done. And every bi-monthly session, we're actually in a group setting. We're actually saying this is what we're going to do during this hour, and we're going to get stuff done. And I'm there every step of the way. I'm there for the whole time, answering questions, keeping you organized. And imagine having a pro organizer with you for 2 hours a month, right? And then you surround yourself with like-minded people, right? So you get access to my book and you get access to one of the trainings, either home office organization or home organizing made simple. You actually do that. And then you're in the action path sessions and you get the Kickstarter course, either home office organization, which is valued at $497, or you get home organizing made simple, which is also $497. You choose that track, then you go on your own and you study. And then you also get the book, and you either get the home book or the home office book, right? And then you learn, and then you get me 2 hours every single month. So today, it's usually $97 a month, but today you can join for $1. Yeah. So this is a Christmas special. In chat, there's the order form. So for $1, you get me for 2 hours and the course and the book, and we get stuff done. And actually, the next session is next week, same time, same bat channel. So what happens is, twice a month, the first and third Tuesdays of every single month, you get me to hold you accountable on what you're going to get done. And it's pretty exciting because everybody's doing all different kinds of things. And you're just actually focusing on you and what you want to get done. You're claiming it at the top of the hour and you're getting stuff done. So for the first month, it's just $1. You can join it, check it out. You can say bye-bye to procrastination and missed opportunities because I'm there for you 2 hours every single month, right? So it's only $1. And for the first action takers on this particular session, you can jump on a one-on-one jumpstart hour session with me. So I can help you focus, figure out the track that you would want to be working on and get started. So for those who are the first action takers, you can actually get a one-on-one session with me, which is valued at $300. So it's a limited time only for $1. Come January, it'll be different. But this time it's only a $1 to jump in because, I know times are tight. It's Christmas, right? So give yourself the gift of spending $1 and get me for a couple hours and jumpstart your decluttering process. And then what's happening? And then in January, you're grooving, you're ready to go. And every 2 hours a month, we're together helping you get stuff done. So what I'm going to do is open up to any questions. And if you have any questions, yep, it's $1 for 1 month. And then after that, it's $97 for 2 hours every month. So you get me for 2 hours the first month for $1. And then after that, if you want to continue on, it's just $97 a month. You can cancel anytime. There's no contract at all. And you have complete access to the course of your choice, either home organization or home office organization. If you want to, depends on if you want to organize your home or your business, right? You can choose your track, and then you get the book that's appropriate to that, as well as the online course. The online courses are pretty cool. I've spent a long time developing them. So there are video tutorials, there are worksheets, there are checklists. They actually walk you through every single aspect of your business or every single area in your home and help you get started right away. And that's a DIY self course. You also get an intake form that helps you choose what track you want to be on with the Power Hour. And you can change tracks too. So some of my clients, they've completely organized their home and then they're jumping into their workspace and they're going to work on their business. Or via V, they work on their work and then they work on their home. Because here's the thing, as entrepreneurs, if you are an entrepreneur out there, you realize that working from a home office, your home also impacts that. So that's why I've put it in tandem. You know, you start where you want to start most or where you need to start most, and then you move forward into whatever area you want to work on. And I guide you through that. I guide you through that process. Yes, you're automatically charged $97 unless you cancel and there's no contract. You just have to let us know, right? So you try it out for a month and then it's $97 a month for me for 2 hours, but generally that'd be $600. So no matter what, you know, you get the $497 product, you get the book, you get me 2 hours, and that's what you get for the month. Yeah. So go ahead and go to the Get Organized, Energized Power Hour in chat. You can click on the link. And now I'll open up for any other questions. I know, I apologize. I've taken 10 minutes extra than what I promised. So any other questions out there? I am here for you. And if you join, go ahead and join. You also get time with me, one-on-one, to get you jump started and going. And if you have any specific questions, you can unmute yourself and go ahead and do an unmute thing if you want. I know we have quite a few people online, so anybody can just jump in and either put something in chat or unmute yourself if you have a question. I know we have Deanna, I know we have Maricela, we have Kathi. We have quite a few people online. And Linda. Anybody need anything or any questions?
If it's okay, I just wanted to thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It was thorough and it gave me a lot to think about. So thank you.
I hope that motivated you to do some stuff and purge and, you know, group and gather and purge and create homes and all that good stuff. And
Absolutely.
if you're a cheerleader on your side, I'm here for you twice a month for 2 hours.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'd love to see you in the Power Hour. That'd be great. Thank you for thanking me. Anybody else? Okay, gang. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate your interest. And I hope to see you all in the Power Hour. Remember, the first takers, they will get one-on-one time with me. So go ahead and jump in. It's only $1. And like I say, it's no strings attached, no contract. You're automatically billed, so you do have to let us know if you don't think it's worth your while. But otherwise, just $97 a month after that. So I'll see you. Yes, digital clutter, absolutely. Digital clutter is a big one. And if you decide that you're going to do the work track, yeah, we're definitely going to talk about decluttering your digital life. Absolutely. Very important. And that's where it comes into the average entrepreneur wastes 4 hours a week trying to find things. And that's due to digital clutter. That could be having, you know, whatever documents in the cloud or on your computer, an email, or have an email overload, whatever. There's all sorts of stuff that happens with digital clutter. And yes, definitely, we talk about that a lot. And I help my client and I help you with that if you choose that you're going to go into the home office tract. Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions? Laura H. Hey, it's good to see your face, Patricia. Good to see you. Okay. If that's it, gang, I'm going to bow out. You can go ahead and join the Power Hour. It's just $1 right now. So go ahead and jump in. You can't really lose anything. Lose $1. I don't think so. Not much to lose. And if you join, you get to come in next week, because it's next week is the 3rd Thursday. I'm almost sure. Hopefully I did that right. 1st and 3rd Tuesdays from noon to 1 Pacific. So same time, same bat channel, same day, every single month, twice a month. That's it for me, gangs. I'm signing out, and I hope to see you in the Power Hour. Take care of yourself, and bare minimum, happy holidays. Enjoy your time, enjoy your family and your friends, and enjoy your life. And I'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye.